Look, I'm as I said, I'm a little concerned. I hope Beterbiev is healthy. I'm going Beterbiev KO, Chris. I don't think he wants to go 12. I don't know if his knee's gonna allow him to go 12. I think he's gonna have one thing in mind, and that's the one thing that he has in mind every single fight. And guess what, Chris? He's been successful in every single fight. 20 wins, 20 KOs. This guy's beating all the champions. Let me pull up his resume right now, but nobody else in the world is doing that right now, Chris. As much as other guys are dominating their opponents in these divisions, none of them have a 100% KO ratio like Beterbiev does. Bivol has not faced anyone like Beterbiev. And let me tell you this, Beterbiev has faced somebody like Bivol. He already fought the number one or number two guy in his division in the past. Alexander Vostok when he was in his prime. And guess what? Beterbiev demolished him. You know, at the time, in my eyes, Vostok was the number one guy at 175 pounds. I was rooting for him in that fight, and it wasn't even close, Chris. Beterbiev dismantled him. Obviously, that was 4 or 5 years ago. Um, Beterbiev a little older now, but look, he's seen that style already. He has obviously an extensive amateur pedigree as well. He faced Usyk a few times in the amateurs. Um, I think he just has too many advantages over Bivol. I think he's gonna knock him out. We've seen Bivol hurt when he faces these big punchers. The one that comes to mind is the one against Joe Smith Jr. He was saved by the bell. He won that fight by decision, but he got hurt at the end of, I think, round 10 or 11, and the bell rang, and he wobbled back to his corner, you know. Oh, and guess what? Beterbiev dismantled Joe Smith Jr., Chris. I'm not trying to compare. I actually think Beterbiev faced a better version of Joe Smith Jr. and dismantled him. So I just think that people underrate Beterbiev, maybe because I don't know, he's not American or he's not Ukrainian or they don't watch his fights. I don't know why, but 20 KOs. He's been champion for what, 7 years, I believe. This guy's a destructive machine. But the only concerns I have are his age and his injury. Uh, Bivol will not be able to keep him away for 12 rounds. That's just what I'm going to tell you. And if Joe Smith Jr., not being the most skillful guy out there, was able to get to him eventually, now I'm 100% confident that Beterbiev will at least hurt him in this fight.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So I'm not mad at that prediction. That's actually my prediction as well. And just like you, I also worry about the age. I do worry about the injuries. Obviously, when we think of injuries, you hit it right on the money, man. We think of the Martinez. That was a fight that not too many of us knew about the injuries. Not too many people knew how bad it was. They did a great job of keeping that a secret, or else we wouldn't have bet money and lost big and got our hearts broken. But hopefully this is not the case with Beterbiev. Yes, I agree with you that before that small injury, I think we were like 60-40, even though we know it's going to be a competitive fight. We gave Beterbiev even more of a chance. Now with the injury, and then obviously gets pushed a couple 6 months back, it only ages Beterbiev more, gives people a closer gap. He closes that gap a little bit, but yeah, the destructive force that is Beterbiev. Again, you don't get 100% knockout ratios just because. The fact that now he's the only one. He used to share that moniker with Virgil, but now, since Virgil's last fight, he doesn't have that 100%. It's only Beterbiev. He's the only guy. He's doing it still on championship caliber, level. So again, it's very hard. Even at 39, I feel that because he's been able to end those fights so much sooner, he doesn't have the same wear and tear that a guy like say Triple G had in his late 30s, or somebody else that's been in wars in their late 30s. So I have to favor Beterbiev, and again, just those injuries make me a little nervous, but I don't think it's enough. So again, I hope if it's not a Sergio 2.0, Beterbiev should get the job done. And again, he does have a great boxer, in front of him, but I agree. I just don't. I see I see Bivol winning a lot of those early rounds, but eventually, I feel Beterbiev that weight will just swallow him whole. And again, this is not a Canelo. This is a big, big boy in his weight class, something that he owns for 7, 8 plus years, and he's been doing it his whole career. You see those videos on YouTube, from his amateur days all the way to now. Like he's destroying everybody. So again, the discipline is there for both guys. Bebo could shock us if we don't get a 100% Beterbiev come fight night. And like Big Bro said, and maybe the bookies know something we don't. It could change in boxing. We always think we know it, and then boom, something can happen. So I mean, I'm excited for this fight. It doesn't get much better. I'm sure Bebo is hearing that he's going to get destroyed by people, not his camp maybe, but people outside of that camp. So I'm sure he's going to want to prove something, and he's already proven a lot of people wrong with that Canelo fight. I'm sure he's going to want to do it again. So again, I feel we're going to get a very competitive fight. But for now, I want to say Beterbiev by knockout.
Hey, man, I'm a little upset, and I'm actually very shocked that you're going on Beterbiev because during the whole lead up, you were talking so highly of Bivol, so I was expecting you to pick Bivol by decision, but yeah, I mean, I'm shocked by your prediction. Um, but I think I'm more shocked at the fact that people think Bivol should be the favorite. Now let's get into that. All right. First of all, here you have it. 20-0, 20 KOs, 39-year-old Arthur Beterbiev. I know a lot of pages are now putting that Canada flag next to him, Chris. As you remember, hey, the WBC forgot about all this political stuff, right? Remember when the war in Eastern Europe first started, they were saying, oh, we're not going to sanction these Russian fighters and this and that. They forgot about that, Chris. We know how that goes. It's all politics within the politics. Um, Two Russian fighters now fighting for undisputed. But yeah, a lot of pages are putting Canada next to Beterbiev because that's where he lives or whatnot. But here is his resume. He last defeated Callum Smith in January of this year, 7 rounds. Before that, stopped Anthony Yard in 8 rounds. Joe Smith Jr. in just 2 rounds. Marcus Brown in 9 rounds. And then Danis, not sure who he is, 10 rounds, but this was a big one here. Volsdik, 10 rounds. They pretty much had to get in there and save Volsdik from the beating. Before that, not a lot, but look, he's been a pro since 2013, so about 11 years. He started his career relatively late, you can say, as a 28-year-old. I'm sorry. So yeah, as you said, he doesn't have much wear and tear. He's never. I think he's only been to 12 rounds one time. Got a stoppage in the last round. Where is it? Right here, in 2017. So yeah, not many rounds under his belt, and we can take a look at how Bivol comes into this fight. 33 years old, 23-0, 12 knockouts. So about 50% of his fights end in a KO ratio. In a KO, sorry, he didn't score a KO for what, 5 years. We'll look it up right here. But his last fight actually ended in a TKO. That was a stoppage. That was in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia in June. That was pretty much the replacement for Beterbiev, just keeping him active. Before that, defeated Lyndon Arthur by unanimous decision. Gilberto Ramirez 2022, November, by unanimous. Canelo by unanimous, also in 2022. Before that, not many recognizable names. Joe Smith Jr. is on there, 2019. John Pascal. He started his career in 2014. So, they have a similar journey, you can say. These guys, great as amateurs, don't have much wear and tear, haven't been through many wars. But obviously the contrast in power is very, very evident. Um, and obviously that Canelo win by Bivol took him to a whole nother level. Uh, and that's why I think, look, here's the poll on your screens. Beterbiev 49%, Bivol 51%. Over 800 votes, Chris. I'm actually pretty proud at those numbers because obviously a lot of the c words, Chris, a lot of the casuals, let's just say it like that, no disrespect, but a lot of them are just saying Bivol because they know him as the guy who defeated Canelo. They don't really know who Beterbiev is, right? A lot of people, some people even said Bivol was gonna stop Beterbiev, Chris. I mean, if that happens, I will come here next week and apologize. But the only way I see that happening is if we have a Sergio Martinez moment, Chris. It better be if just is not healthy and and he's if he gets stopped against Bivol, I think he's damn near retiring, Chris, because that's a big red flag. But yeah, going back to that screen, 49% Beterbiev, 51% Bivol. That pretty much reflects what the odds look like. The last odds that I posted, it was minus 140 for Bivol, plus 120 for Beterbiev.